All right, welcome to the MMA Fight Game Podcast. You may recognize this good-looking cowboy on the opposite screen here. He's definitely a friend of the page, a friend of the channel. Nasty Nate Ghareeb is going for champ status. He's already the 155-pound Combat FC lightweight champion. He is competing February 9th at Combat FC 6, Joe Cavallero and Rick Caldwell's event down in Wilmington, Massachusetts at the legendary Shriners Auditorium. Nate is on a blistering tear, winner of 4 out of his last 5, 4 finishes, including a very rare Sulevov stretch, which on prior calls with Nate, we've talked about that. Cowboy, your view outside is probably way different than mine up here in Buffalo, New York. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I hear it's snowing. You showed me snow, so
just a little bit of snow. I don't know if you can see it out there. That's my conditions right now. You probably got sunny palm trees, bikinis, bikes, rollerblades down at Coconut Creek.
It's gray out there right now, man. It's been gray. It's been gray and rainy. Hasn't really been that sunny, but
better than what I'm
snowing.
doing.
So
better than what I'm dealing with. But you're a New England kid, so you get it.
I get it, yeah, and I don't miss it. So
yeah. So you got to go ahead.
I was saying I'm sorry for you that you have to deal with that currently, but it is what it is.
More focus on you boys that are competing on February 9th at Combat FC 6, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So you got a massive fight February 9th against Shameless Don Shainis, obviously a veteran of the UFC, Bellator as well. Talk to me about this fight. How did this fight come about?
So yeah, I mean, we've been trying to, for like the last 6 months, we were trying to get into the UFC. We've been trying to take like a short notice fight and get a shot in the UFC. Nothing really came. My manager had reached out to me and asked, would you fight Don Shainis? And I said, yeah, absolutely. Because 2 years ago, I had been interested in taking a fight with him. Some opportunities had come up where I was like kind of making my run in trying to get to like a title, regional title. And he had already had 2 regional titles and he was looking to get more. He was looking to get he had made mentions of trying to take the CES belt, and there was another belt. I can't remember which one, doesn't matter, I guess. But I was in the running for the CES title at that time at 145. So I called him out because he had been making claims that he was going to come over to CES and take the 145 belt and whatever other belt. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm here. So if you want to come and take that belt, like I'm definitely, because there was no one at the time that had held it. Matt Bassett had just retired the belt. He had retired from MMA. And so the 45 belt was open. And so I called him out, said I was interested in fighting him. And then he got pulled up to the UFC eventually. So that never happened. So then, yeah, it's been 2 years. And now we're at a point where he is out of the UFC. He's fighting on the regional scene. I know he just fought for the CES title at 145 and didn't go his way. I hold the 155 belt at Combat FC. I would love the 45 belt. I have 2 belts at 55, no belts at 45. This is an opportunity. It's an ideal fight for me. He's a guy who has regional titles, UFC vet, good record. He's tough. He's gritty. He's a guy that's worth fighting. So that's kind of like how it all came together. And that's where we're at now.
Yeah, there is some things on the streets, with New England fighters that, they tend some tend to shy away from the tougher fights. Obviously, Don Shainis is no pushover.
No.
His 2 fights in the UFC, some things didn't go his way, but obviously, he competed and he showed he belonged in the dance. We interviewed him this week already, and he firmly believes that this could get one of you guys on the Ultimate Fighter that is being casted right now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of been a not secret. I haven't really talked about it much, but like I did apply for the Ultimate Fighter, and went through an interview process, and we've been waiting, which has made this kind of complicated because it's like the fight is in the middle of that process of like, do we fight? Do we not fight? Do we take, is the Ultimate Fighter going to call? And like, is one of us, in the running for that? I don't know, man. But, I had a lot of ups and downs in the last 6 months of like, you're going to get a short notice, or like before that was like, you could get on the Contender Series. It's like a lot of like unknowns. So I don't want to sell everything out and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to get on this show. And so I'm not going to fight. Like, I haven't fought and I've been waiting for something, and Don has arrived as an opportunity. Like, I want to fight Don.
Yeah.
I want to get to 10-2. I want to win another title. And I want another test, because like, I don't want to just pad my record and fight guys that don't have good records, or like, or just tough guys that you like, you're going to beat. Like, I want a tough fight that's going to continue to prove that like what I've been doing is working, and that the sacrifices that I've made have been worth it. He's a tough guy. He's been to the top. He's fought 5 rounds. He is a regional champion, and he's fought other UFC vets. Like, he's a tough, gritty guy. I still personally believe that I have the skill set to beat him. I still believe that I'm the better fighter, the better mixed martial artist. And it's an ideal fight, I think, for both of us. Like, it's a test, right? Like, we're 2 top guys in the region who've held 2 different titles in different organizations to come together and fight for a 45 title. And one of us is walking away with that 3rd belt. And I personally believe it's going to be me. So, yeah, I mean, there's been talks of the Ultimate Fighter for both of us, but they're not letting us know yet. So, like, as far as I know, I'm fighting. That's my plan. I've been focused in on this. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to fight. This is the perfect time, like, to beat him, for sure. Like, you're going to tell me no. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, you beat a guy who's a UFC vet, you get to 10-2. If you finish this guy, that's 9 finishes. I'd have 9 finishes and 3 titles. Like, how can you deny me at this point? You know what I mean? Like, I just want to continue to have that, to not be denied by these people. You know what I mean? Like, I want the UFC to see like, okay, he's fighting tough guys. He's got a good record. He's finishing good people. And maybe just having that guy who's a UFC vet on my kill list will make that difference,
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Obviously, when you get to that next level, especially the UFC, everybody's all killers. Like,
Right.
you need to have those grizzly veterans, even if they're on the regional circuit, because some things didn't go their way. Don Shainis is definitely a big personality. You're a big personality. I can definitely see the crowd being attracted to both of you as well. So that's a major thing as well. Now, talk to me. What's the process like applying for the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, you just fill out an application, send it in. They give you an interview date. You talk with them about like who you are, why you want to do this. Pretty straightforward. I feel like it's just like if you were to go and apply for a job
Okay.
anywhere.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now, obviously, you made how long you been at ATT? Like a year?
Yeah, it was a year on December 3rd.
Okay. So
So
you made that move to ATT. Obviously, Mike Brown, Tiago Alves, Steve Mako, big time coaches in the space, as well as your opponent has actually made the move to Las Vegas at Syndicate MMA, and he's also at the UFC PI sometimes as guest of friends that he has. That's just a combination that it's going to excite people if they're on the fence going out to Combat FC 6 on February 9th. Like you said, these are 2 of the top guys in New England, probably 2 of the top regional guys in the country right now, going head to head, headlining Combat FC 6 February 9th with Joe Caballero in Wilmington. Is that the fight that should get people out? Is that the biggest fight that could be made in the Northeast right now, you think?
yeah, 100%. I think, I mean, I don't think anybody can deny that. I mean, I think especially in New England where, you tend to get guys who are just trying to like fight, like they end up fighting guys who are like out of the region, guys that aren't really that good, beating these guys that they shouldn't be in there with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that for everybody, but a lot of guys. It's very few times you get guys who are fighting and competing or competing at a high level that have the experience level that Don and I have. Like, but between both of us, I mean, we both have a lot of finishes. I don't know the number off the top of my head of how many finishes he has, but I know he has a lot. And so it's an exciting fight, and I think like to be the two best guys, like I think in the region, like as far as I know, so I got to set up for this. As far as I know, and like I remember, I can't remember when there was another big fight like this in New England where two top guys with the credentials that we both have are stepping up to fight each other for a title. I know that there were fights that were going to be made that never ended up happening. For other guys in the region, and for whatever reason they just never happened, but this is like the perfect fight I think for both of us, and I think it's a fight that everybody wants to see, especially because him and I are both guys that have trained all over New England, and we have a lot of mutual friends. And like we have mutual friends. Like when he went out to Glory, he had friends that he trained with there that those guys moved down to ATT. So it's like we know a lot of people between each other. We've somehow never met, never trained together, but we know everybody else that has. And so like everybody's like excited for this fight. And especially because brings we bring a fight, you know what I mean? Like he's not a bum, you know what I mean? Like he's not gonna not show up. Like he's gonna show up to fight. You know what I mean? He's always comes to fight no matter what. And that is what I respect of him. And that's why I want to fight him. Like I said, he's got credentials and he's gonna come and fight. You know what I mean? I don't want a guy that's gonna roll over and die, you know what I mean, and just give up. Like I want a guy to I want to make you give up. So I want you to have those credentials. I want you to have that ability. I want you to be tough and gritty, and I want you to bring your best fight so that I can find out if I really am who I say I am, so that when I get into the UFC, I'm not like shell shocked. Like a lot of guys get there, they haven't fought anybody, they haven't had a fight. I mean, at this point, it's like I've fought tough guys, I've faced adversities, you know what I mean? I've had a variety of situations. I went 5 rounds. So but this is just another feather in my cap. This is a great fight for me. And I'm really, really excited for it. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think a lot of people are going to tune in to watch this fight,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking at Don's record, and this is just based on Tapology, it shows that he has 10 finishes, 8 by KO, 2 by submission, obviously 3 wins. And I mean, if nobody's been to a Combat FC, obviously we met when you won your 155-pound title at Combat FC 4 a bunch of months ago. If they've never been to an event, Combat FC that's done by Joe Cavallero and Rick Caldwell, it's really a well put on show, well organized. The fans are into it. It's produced awesome. The walkout is good. They spend the money to make this show. Obviously, big fights. You training at the notorious ATT and him over at Syndicate. So now you got 2 world-class fighters with world-class coaching combined. I mean, that could be a UFC fight as well. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, I was hoping too, like over the summer that I was kind of bummed when they cut him, because my hope was that after winning the title in June, that when the UFC Boston card would come, that they would try to put him on there, and they would try to pull someone up from the regional scene to fight him. And I was hoping that was going to be me. And then like a week before the fight, or 2 weeks before the fight, they cut him, and I was like, fuck, like, because at that time I was gonna call him out again, and I was gonna hope that the UFC would see like, hey, if Don Shainis needs a fight in the UFC, they're looking for him. They want to put him in UFC Boston. Like I would have loved to have fought him there, and that would have been great. It would have been a big show. But we got Combat FC instead, which is completely fine. It's still a great show, like you said. They run a great show, and I think they do an awesome job with it. I loved fighting for them. I only fought for them once, but I wish I'd fought for them sooner, because they're good people. They run a great show, and I'm excited for it. I had a great time at the last show. I thought they did a phenomenal job. So this is what we have. This is what we're gonna do. I think this is the perfect time, and I'm really fucking excited for this fight.
I'm excited for you because I know the sacrifices that you and Ali have made to get to this point. What are your expectations for February 9th, Combat FC 6?
Well, I expect to bring the violence like I always do. It'll be about like 8 months by the time I've my last fight, and I like to fight as often as possible. So for me, it's like all that time training, preparing as if I was going to get in the UFC. Like I've been evolving, I've been getting better, and I'm really excited to show that and show that on a tough, gritty guy. Like I really want to prove that I've been evolving and getting better and learning and advancing my skills. And I think on February 9th, like my intention is to fucking hurt this guy, like always. I really just want to put as much damage on him as I possibly can. Would love to just like I always say, is that my opponent is like a canvas, and I'm a painter, and I'm gonna make art out of you. That's just the way it is. Like I want to put vicious damage all over you. Like I feel like other fighters that have fought him have kind of gotten ahead, especially in the striking department, and then they take him down, and that's like where he wants you to be. Like he's pretty good on the ground. You know what I mean? Like he's a crafty guy. Like he wants to be on the ground. He likes to wrestle, but he's also good at scrambling. And I think that the path of least resistance is to just keep it standing. Stuff is takedowns. I mean, like I could certainly grapple with him. There's no doubt about that. But like if I don't have to, like, and I could just pick you apart from the outside. I mean, like I've said this before, you've got to get through a barbed wire fence if you want to get to me. Like I'm gonna make it fucking real hard for you to get a hold of me, and good luck keeping me down, because I'm fucking hard to hold down. You can ask anybody that. I'm not gonna lay there and fucking pull guard and hang on for dear life like my fucking last opponent. I'm gonna fucking claw and scratch my way back to my fucking feet, and I'm gonna fucking hurt you. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm bringing all the mean tools like I always do: knees, elbows, kicks, punches, everything. And I'm gonna fucking work your body. I'm gonna work everything, and I'm gonna look to finish you. That's what you can expect.
Absolutely. And then with a successful win on February 9th, what would be ideal? What's next?
Call from the UFC and letting me know, like, hey, it's your time. Like I've been working for years for this. I've been putting in my time, and I feel like it's fucking long overdue, man. And I feel like, you get to those double-digit wins, you got, a lot of finishes. You fight tough guys, and you beat these tough guys. Like, I just want to be undeniable. I want them to see me and to know that like I'm here for fucking business, man. Like I'm not here to fucking show off to my friends and make them think, wow, this fucking guy is really fucking good. Like, but you're beating up cans. Like I want to beat. Just go. She's fucking walking over there, and she's like, and it's like,
hey, we all know Allie. Tell Allie she's good. Everybody knows her mug. Everybody knows Allie. She's the good looking one in the room.
She's like creeping, trying to walk past me, and it's like I'm trying to think, and she's like walking past me, and it's just distracting.
Allie, let's be honest. Nobody wants to look at me and Nate. They all want to see the head on there. Let's be honest. Or my girlfriend behind me that's letting my dogs out right now. So
Dan didn't get distracted.
Yeah, because he didn't know. He didn't see you. I'm like watching you like creep past me.
You're good. You're good. Everybody knows who you are, Allie. Those pictures of you and Nate together when he won his 155 title a few months back, those are pretty special pictures. I can't deny that. So, but I look forward to seeing you. I'll be out at the fights, rolling solo, but I'm trying to get Rick Caldwell to let me sit at the promoter's table for that fight.
There you go.
We'll see. We'll see. Probably not, but I'm trying. It doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm still waiting for that judo toss too, by the way.
Maybe one day.
All right, fair enough. Very cool. Did you see the weather out in Buffalo?
Oh, glad I'm not there.
Yeah, look at that. You guys got sunny and palm trees, something like that. My own girlfriend wants in her life real bad. So,
maybe soon.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys will see it soon. You guys are coming up in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. So cool. Well, it was good seeing you.
Yeah, nice seeing you too.
All right, there we have it. Nate, I truly appreciate the time. Obviously, this is a massive fight for the New England MMA scene, and the Northeast in general. February 9th, Combat FC 6. Nasty Nate Ghareeb's going for champ status against a grizzly vet who's always down to scrap, and Shameless Don Shainis with Joe Cavallero and Rick Caldwell's promotion at the Wilmington, in Wilmington, Massachusetts, should I say, at the Shriners Auditorium. Before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors, anything like that you want to get out there?
Yeah, I should give a shout out to my sponsors. Shout out to RNA Reset, HKA USA.
Yep, I see those guys all the time.
Yeah, they're with me all the time.
Yep, I see those guys.
Chemi Graphics, and I got quite a few sponsorships. Oh, Smithsonian Chowder House.
Is that a food place?
It is, and they always what's that?
Where are they at? Are they in New England?
They're in Hatfield, Massachusetts. Actually, like right directly across the street from where we used to have our old gym when we had our own gym.
Okay.
Great food, great New England clam chowder, great Reubens. Big fan of the Reubens, but they have like a bunch of different things that they do. It's their food is great. And they've been super supportive of me in the last few years. I'm super grateful for them. Sorry, is that fucking up the camera? But yeah, man, I got a lot of great sponsors, and they make a huge difference during fight camp, and really allow me to have the ability to train full time and stay in the gym, consistently. So without them, I would have a very, very difficult time doing this. So thank you to all my sponsors. Thank you to my parents, Ed and Peg, and my wife, Alicia, and like all the people who support me and follow me and, always show up for me. It really means the world to me. So thank you guys. And the violence is for you people. So I hope to bring the best and most violent show every single time I fight. So I do this for you people.
Yeah, no, there you have it. Now I want to go eat it at your sponsor's place, because now that New England clam chowder sounds real good.
Sounds pretty good, right?
On a day like today. But there you have it. We got Nasty Nate Ghareeb, February 9th, Combat FC 6. Just sit tight, okay, Nate?
Sounds good.